All right, so I'm bringing back an old segment that I used to do, and I forgot about doing it, but I'm doing it again. Tweets of the week. These are tweets that I come across during the week. I'm on Twitter probably too much, so I come across a lot of good tweets during the week. These are ones I collect and then share later. They're ones that really can't be made into an individual video, but are points that are worth making or maybe something funny. We got a mix of that this week. Let me start with Alexandria OcasioCortez, who, let's be honest here, has fantastic tweets. I'm not sure if she writes them all herself. I'm guessing she does, but oftentimes they are just fantastic. So she tweets out here, Republicans like to make fun of the fact that I used to be a waitress, but we all know if they ever had to do a double, they'd be the ones found crying in the walk-in fridge halfway through their first shift because someone yelled at them for bringing seltzer when they wanted sparkling. This is hilarious and so very true. And really, let's also be fair. It's not just Republicans. A lot of Democrats also fit into this as well. Most lawmakers simply don't come from a working class background. A lot of them come from wealth and privilege. In doing so, they bring a certain worldview. And even if they don't come from wealth and privilege, a lot of them end up buying into that once they get into Congress and they become part of the club. And that's the worldview they take on because they hang around these wealthy donors and they take on that worldview and become disconnected from the average person. So AOC pointing out here that absolutely these people, it's absurd to make fun of her for being a waitress. I mean, honestly, like, I'm not sure how a politician can make fun of somebody for working a working class job and expect to have the support of voters. I mean, clearly a lot of them do, but it's because a lot of this stuff doesn't come out. And it really shows you their disdain for the average working individual. Next one here. This, I guess I should have started with this tweet, but this made me laugh. ExxonMobil here. ExxonMobil tweeting out, "We're all in this together. Glad to be a part of the oil and gas climate initiative, working collaboratively towards solutions to mitigate the risks of climate change." Oh, ExxonMobil. Oh, how good of you. Ilhan Omar here. This is the perfect image for this. Tweeting out this hilarious image with the caption, "We're all trying to figure out the guy who did this." Perfect representation of the fossil fuel industry here, pretending to be a part of the solution, when ultimately, if they want to be a part of the solution, then they should cease to exist. But of course, they're always trying to pretend to be this, consciously using fossil fuels to somehow all work together to accomplish the goal of eliminating fossil fuels. But okay, great image there from Ilhan Omar. This tweet here, this involves some reading, but I will get to that. So Stephanie Effany, great name. Tweeting out, "Am I hormonal or did I just read this beautiful 1-2 punch?" So this is about Elliot Page announcing that he is transgender and the response to this. So this is a lesson of why you need to always take the approach that somebody is uninformed when it comes to the average person, not lawmakers, but when it comes to the average person, take the position that they are probably just uninformed, and that it is your job as somebody who is informed on a certain issue to kindly inform that person. So here, Nerd Domain tweets out, "Is this an error?" They put a picture of Ellen Page, typo maybe? And then Lewis responds saying, "Not a typo, he's Elliot Page." Nerd Domain says, "I'm not sure I understand. Please explain." Lewis replies saying, "I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume you're well-intentioned, LOL. His name used to be Ellen Page, but he has come out as a transgender man, so now his name is Elliot Page. They're the same person." Nerd Domain replies saying, "Oh, okay. I'm new to this. I didn't understand what was happening. Thank you for explaining. I thought it was some new meme that I missed out on. In that case, I'm going to join everyone else and say that I'm very happy for Elliot Page. I've always been a huge fan of his." Look at that. This is amazing. Look, this happens on Twitter, but I gotta say, from what I've seen from back and forths, it's pretty rare for there to be an exchange like this where somebody is just wrong about something, or may even seem like they're making fun of what has happened here, when in reality they're just uninformed, and all they need is somebody to kindly inform them, and they can go on their merry way supporting the very issue that it maybe appeared they were against or making fun of. So perfect example of that here, to always take the approach of giving people the benefit of the doubt when it comes to, the average person, someone that isn't in a position of power, like a lawmaker. When it comes to a lawmaker, they have a team of people around them. They should be informed on issues, and it's perfectly fine to go after a lawmaker, after them, with words, if they are wrong about something. Or even still, I would say, depending on the person, depending on the context, depending on what they've done in the past, maybe that lawmaker has actually done good work in the past, and there's someone who is uninformed and you can inform them. But when it comes to the average person, especially friends and family fall into this as well, take the position that they likely just don't know. And if you just kindly explain to them what the issue is, then they'll be informed. Next one here, Malika Jabali tweeting out, "Good morning, here to remind people that defunding the police is actually popular in the city that has grappled with it the most this year across all groups polled. So oftentimes you'll hear how defund the police, hurt Democrats, or it's not popular. Minneapolis here, support for defunding Minneapolis police among different groups of Minneapolis residents. Look at this. Every single group except for Republicans, and even Republicans, almost 30% support this, but support this in a big majority. So ages 18 to 34, 88% support defunding the police. Democrats, 85%, women, 78%, black, 76%, no college, 75%, whites, 72%, college grads, 71%, men, 68%, independents, 63%, aged 65 plus, 59%, and Republicans, 27%, which still is rather high for Republicans. So showing you here that really all it takes is being informed. And also, in terms of, obviously certain cities are going to be more in favor than others depending on what has happened in their city. So it makes total sense for Minneapolis to be largely in favor of this. But again, it shows you, if you inform people about what these issues actually mean, and you inform them why that position exists, inform them on the history of it and what it would do, then people largely side with the data, with the facts, and will come to support that issue as long as the science and the data supports it. Last tweet here. Gravel Institute tweeting out, number of citizens who lost healthcare coverage since the pandemic began. U.S., 14,600,000. Every other country, 0. That is, of course, because the U.S. operates under this ridiculous system where you have healthcare tied to your employer. So people that had their healthcare tied to their employer, that lost their job, there goes their healthcare. Other countries, because you have healthcare guaranteed universally, different systems here, but universal regardless. Canada, for example, single-payer system would be the same as a Medicare for all system. Nobody loses healthcare because healthcare is not tied to their employer. They just have it guaranteed to them. I've discussed this a million times in the past, but since I haven't discussed it recently, let me give you, I guess, a little benefits here, or some benefits of having a single-payer system. You never think about healthcare. That really is the number one benefit. Healthcare is never on my mind because if I need it, it's there. When I've been sick, I've gone to the doctor. You walk in, you show your health card. They take you in, see the doctor, and you leave. That's it. There's no exchanging of money. There's no dealing with paperwork. That's it. You just go and you leave. Same with surgery. The only surgery or the only paperwork that I had to do for surgery, I think, was like a 1 page, just describing what the surgery was or basic questions about that. And that was it. No, negotiating or talking to health insurance companies afterwards trying to ensure this was covered. None of that, because it's guaranteed to you. It's covered. So, and again, if you get sick, any walk-in clinic will take you in. People have family doctors, but if you're, if you don't have one or you're somewhere else, you can go to any walk-in clinic, see a doctor there. It's just, it's basic. You never have to think about healthcare, and it covers everything. So, though I will say on that point, it doesn't cover everything. It doesn't cover dental in Canada. We should have dental covered. Medicare for all would cover dental. Mental health, pharmacare, there's spotty coverage there. So the only issues that I have with the Canadian healthcare system is that it doesn't go far enough. It's not that it's a single payer system. The issue is that it's not just, it needs to cover more. So a Medicare for all system would be better than the Canadian healthcare system. I've discussed that in the past as well. So anyways, this was the tweets of the week.